tested one of the internet's favorite chocolate chip cookie recipes, and I kind of wish I had it. People swear by the Butternut Bakery best chocolate chip cookie recipe, but when I tried it for myself, I was shocked by the results. I rated these cookies on a scale of 1 to 10 in the 5 areas that I believe to be most vital to enjoying a chocolate chip cookie. Categories included flavor, texture, the ease of the recipe, how the cookie looks, and would I actually make it again. Follow the recipe exactly the way it was written online, and I only use weighted ingredients for more accuracy, with the exception of my baking powder and baking soda. The recipe called for melted and cool butter, so I decided to pop it into the microwave for about 30 seconds to let it melt without getting the butter too hot. I must admit, when I saw this recipe called for baking powder, I was a little bit skeptical because I've been baking a lot lately, and I've noticed that recipes that don't call for baking powder and only use baking soda actually come out really good, and I don't really think it's necessary to have 2 leavening agents in most cookie recipes. But I went with the way that the recipe was written because I wanted to get the full experience and do things properly. Once I had my sugars weighed out, I went ahead and added the butter. I wanted to know that the sugars in this recipe are actually pretty much on a 1-to-1 ratio. There's a little bit more brown sugar in here than white sugar, but for the most part, you're definitely getting a more balanced equation when it comes to the sugars, which is going to affect the texture of the cookies more so than you would probably expect. I like this recipe because it didn't require you to use any mixers or anything like that. You literally only need 2 bowls, a whisk, and a spatula. That's pretty much all you need, along with your measuring cups. This recipe called for a bunch of chocolate chips. It didn't call for any specific type of chocolate chips, so I just used Trader Joe's chocolate chips, and I put them in my cookie scoop to get even scoops of dough, and I put them in the oven, and I made sure to use an oven thermometer to make sure that the temperature was accurate while I was baking the cookies. I baked them for about 12 minutes each. I put a little bit of salt on top of them, and then this is the finished product. The cookies were actually really pretty, but I must admit the taste kind of fell short for me. Overall, I gave these cookies a 6.3 out of 10. They were not bad, but it didn't hit hard enough for me to crave them again, and there was no real wow factor to these cookies, unfortunately.